Listen to how that boxy sound in this voice recording is removed. First, you're going to hear the raw recording, and then I'll engage the processing so you can hear that difference.
In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite.
In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I removed that boxy sound from this voice recording with an EQ. My name is Lenny B. I am a voiceover audio engineer and a content creator myself. I'm also a podcast coach. I help people with marketing. Basically, my gift, my specialty is helping creators, content creators, make a better connection with their audience. And one of the things that I do is help people. If you record your voice onto a microphone when you're creating content, it could be a podcaster, a YouTuber, Instagrammer, whatever kind of content you're creating, a streamer, a gamer, you could be competing as a voiceover artist or a voiceover talent. When the capture of your voice sounds transparent, it sounds really good, and it has a high quality to capturing your voice, that helps you make a stronger connection with your audience. It helps you translate emotion, and that is how you create relationships with your audience. That's one of the things I do. Today we're going to talk about a boxy sound that happens. It's really common. When you're recording your voice, there's this boxy thing that happens in a lot of voice captures, and the confusing part is people don't know if it's the microphone. Is it the plugins that I'm using? Do I need better plugins? Is it the room that I'm recording in? Is it my sound treatment? What is it that's creating that boxy sound? And I'm going to answer those questions today and show you how I remove a boxy sound, why it's happening in the first place. But I'm going to walk you through my process. Now, the audio that we're going to be working on today was captured on a Rode NT1 microphone, the 5th generation, and it was captured with a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 audio interface, 4th generation. All right, the first thing I want to do is kind of make sure I really get an idea of the raw recording. So let me play just what's coming in from this voiceover artist so I can kind of get an idea. And what I'm listening for is a balance in the frequencies.
In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite Scarlett 4th generation preamp.
So right away, I hear that there is an overabundance of a particular frequency, probably around 500. And, I've been doing this for such a long time. I've been EQing voices for a long time. I don't expect you to hear that right away, but I'm going to point it out because I hear it, and it's just, practice makes perfect, right? The more you do this, the more you're going to draw your ear to the places in the frequency spectrum of a voice recording that may be overabundant. And I can use, I'll kind of walk you through how I approach this here. I'll use the peak hold line, the frequency, the real-time analyzer, the frequency analyzer, which is the yellow line in this plugin.
In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone.
I can hear that it's this area that I think is really where that mid-range boxy thing is happening the most. So I'm going to find it.
In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite Scarlett 4th generation preamp to log all that into. And biggest challenge I have with my audio, I don't think it feels particularly natural. I think there's too much bass.
All right, so what I'm going to do now that I've found one of the offending frequencies, I'm going to turn the EQ on and off just to hear the difference. It's really one of the best ways to hear the changes that you've made are affecting the audio. Have I addressed that one particular frequency?
In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite.
So yeah, definitely have hit that one frequency that I think was the most offending. So I'm going to keep working here and see if I can find some other places.
In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite Scarlett 4th generation preamp. In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite Scarlett 4th generation preamp to log all that into. And biggest challenge I have with my audio, I don't think it feels particularly reverb. I don't quite know what to call it. It just sounds a bit rumbly. But obviously, you're the expert here, so you'll be in my little booth. Got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone.
So what I've done is this number 2 band, which is around 298, I felt was also pretty boomy, overabundant. And then the fundamental frequency, which was around 100, was really pretty boomy too. And I'm going to fine tune these, but with these changes, I believe that I've pretty drastically removed that boxy and boomy sound. So let's compare before and after. But before I do that, I want to make sure that my before the EQ and after the EQ level is the same. In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite Scarlett. So I boosted the output of this EQ. So the before EQ, which is this, that's what this readout is. This meter is showing me before the EQ. This meter is showing me after EQ. I've increased the output to replenish that energy that I've removed in the low end. So now when I turn the EQ on and off, I can just hear the changes, not the volume change. In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite. So that original frequency, 500, I still want to take some more of that out. So I'm going to drop that down even further. In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a... in my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th... So you could see that the average on this, visually, the meter is showing me that there's not as much change or difference, but I still think there's a little boom. So I'm going to use this low shelf EQ here, band, low shelf band number 1, to just drop more of that low energy to try to get it more balanced. In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite Scarlett 4th generation preamp. In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite Scarlett 4th generation. In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation. I've tried to gain stage the before and after the EQ by increasing it 5.0. That's quite 5 dB increase of the output of the EQ is quite a lot. But after the changes I've made, there's quite a bit of low end that I've removed here. But you can hear that the difference after I kind of balance the output here again. And it's very, very similar. The average volume is 27, 27, and then negative 10.3, negative 10.3 is very, very similar as far as the loudness and the peak output. I do want to tell you, though, that, the things that I'm doing with this EQ, I have a EQ Fundamentals for Voice training course. And if all of this is kind of new to you, the EQ course is fantastic. It's one of my best selling training courses. It's very affordable. And if you want to learn how to do this, that training course really assumes that you know very little. So it's for beginners, but it's also for people who have been doing this for a little while. It really breaks down the metering and trains your ear on how to listen for some of those overabundant frequencies. And it's focused on voiceover recording. So I'll put the link to that training course in the description. All right, let's hear the difference between the before and after EQ and see how much I've removed that boxy sound. Here's before the EQ, and then I'll engage it. In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite Scarlett 4th generation preamp. It's quite a big difference. I think I've removed that boxy sound, and I want to tell you something else, that this is pretty important as well. This much boxiness, this much boominess in a recording, it's not the microphone. It's not being caused by the microphone. It's being caused by the room. And maybe you've heard that before, but when you have this much of an imbalance, what's happening is it is coming from the microphone picking up more than just the pure voice. The microphone picks up my pure voice, but my voice keeps going, bounces around the room, and those reflections get back into the microphone in addition to my pure voice. The interaction between those reflections and my pure voice, which is the direct sound pressure waves to the microphone, that interaction between the reflection and the pure voice is what causes an imbalance. It's the issue. That's why this voice recording sounded this way. And I'm using EQ as a Band-Aid. It's really a filter. The EQ is trying to balance it. But if you really want to fix the problem, you need to address those reflections. You need to remove those reflections. I want your microphone to pick up more pure voice directly from my mouth to the microphone and less of those reflections that are happening and bouncing around the room and getting back into the microphone. That's what's going to give you that upfront, direct, crisp, balanced voiceover sound. Then you can use the EQ in a way that you're doing more sweetening and less fixing. You're not using it so much as a filter. We talked a little bit about the EQ course. That's really going to help you if you want to learn this. If you want to learn kind of the fundamentals of EQ and how they work and how they can work to help you fix your voice recordings. But the acoustics are really important too. And I'll tell you this, a lot of people feel like, they've got to put foam or EQ panels all over the entire room. It's not true. Mic placement is really important, but also it's really important to understand how the sound bounces around and how your microphone picks up that sound. It's a ratio. The goal is to pick up less reflections and more pure voice. That is going to give you a better recorded sound. And I explain all this and kind of walk you through understanding it and how to resolve it and what material is the best to use and different type of materials do a better job and why. I talk about all those things in my acoustic treatment for voiceover training course, which I'll also put in the description of this video. All right, now that we've got that boxy sound removed and we've got the frequencies balanced for this recording, the second part is doing the sweetening. And this is where I use the Shep's Omni channel, which is one of my favorite plugins, to add a gate, an expander, preamp, a couple compressors, some sweetening EQ, a limiter, and maybe 2 de-essers depending upon how much I need it, another compressor, a limiter. It's got so many great things to sweeten the sound. So I'm going to do that here rather quickly, but I'll let you watch and kind of walk through it with me here and see how I add this. And the key is that, yes, the balancing is cool that we did to take that boxy sound out, but I want you to hear the completely raw file, that balancing that we've done to remove the boxiness with the EQ, but then add all the other processing to really polish it. And this is one of the things I do for my clients. I do a full custom processing chain, and I want you to hear the difference because, removing that boxiness really gives it an amazing sound at the end of the processing chain. So let's apply some of this other processing here. First, the gate expander.
In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite Scarlett 4th generation preamp.
I've set the expander to just do some light work, reducing the output by about 12 dB when the voice is not happening. So when it's quiet, it kind of pushes down the noise a little bit. That's really all I want this to do. I want it to be transparent. Let's look at the saturation.
In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite Scarlett 4th generation preamp.
I've added a little bit of odd harmonics, which gives the low end a little bit of a thickness. I'm going to go back and adjust both of these later. Now let's look at the compression.
In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite Scarlett 4th generation preamp to log all that into. And biggest challenge I have with my audio, I don't think it feels particularly natural. I think there's too much bass reverb.
All right, what I've done here is I'm adding what you might think of as quite a lot of compression, but the ratio is really low. The attack is wide open, so it's not clamping down on the transients, those peaks. It's working, it's compressing quite a bit, but it's not very apparent. It's pretty transparent.
In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite.
This does impart more of a low-end boldness and a thickness, so I'm going to maybe go back and adjust some of the EQ, maybe even in the first EQ as well, reduce some of that low end, but that is reducing -3, sometimes up to -6 dB of gain reduction. Now let's do some sweetening with the EQ.
In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite Scarlett 4th generation preamp to log all that into. And biggest challenge I have with my audio, I don't think it feels particularly natural. I think there's too much bass.
Now we've added some energy in the air and the upper mid. I've reduced some of that boominess, and I'm not even adding any low. It doesn't need any of the kind of the low. That's under 100 hertz. I am noticing that I'm adding quite a bit of energy, so I'm going to gain stage it here again, and I'll do that with this de-esser module. Not adding any de-essing yet. I'm going to equal out the loudness and the output first.
In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone. In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite Scarlett 4th generation. In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th.
All right, so I've reduced, a couple dB in this module here, and that was energy being added with the EQ in the mid-range and some with the compression. So let me see. I'm going to move back to my EQ because I want to look a little closer at that real-time analyzer to find out exactly where his S's are happening, and that's where I'm going to set my de-esser. So I'm looking for that frequency where the sibilance is happening.
In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation.
When he says screen, that whistle, that sibilance, that harshness is happening right at 44, about 45, 4,500 hertz.
In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite Scarlett 4th generation preamp.
So that's where I'm going to set. I'll go back now and set my de-esser to, it's already about there, 44, 90. Let's see what that sounds like when we reduce just that a little bit.
In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite Scarlett 4th generation preamp.
All right, I think that's doing the job. And all I'm doing is reducing some of the energy in that frequency space. So the levels are still pretty much the same. So now let's go to this last compressor. And this one, I want to just address some of those peaks. So I'm going to use the FET, and we're probably going to set a pretty high ratio, but
in my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite Scarlett 4th generation preamp. Biggest challenge I have with my audio, I don't think it feels particularly natural. I think there's too much bass.
So that's really adding a lot of energy, so we're going to drop that down.
In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite Scarlett 4th generation preamp to log all that into. And biggest challenge I have with my audio, I don't think it feels particularly natural. I think there's too much bass reverb. I don't quite know what to call it. It just sounds a bit rumbly.
All right, I think that does the job. I'm going to add a limiter at the end here just to give me some insurance. The only thing I want to do at this point is now with the final sound is I think I want to remove even more of the low end.
In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite Scarlett 4th generation preamp.
All right, now I'm going to play for you the completely raw file with that boxiness, and then I'm going to play you the totally processed file. And there's a really big difference between the before and after. I want you to hear how it improves the loudness and the clarity. It removes that boxiness. But I want you to know that what I've done here for this voiceover artist, I can do for you as well. I can give you a free example of what your voice sounds like with my custom processing. Doing this for you, your mic, captured in your room. All you have to do is send me a raw file, and to give you a demo of what that sounds like is totally free. And all you need to do is go to my website. It's really easy to submit your audio. Go to the website, lennyb.com, and you click on the red button there at the top. Then you're going to have, there's basically 3 steps. I need you to prepare your audio submission in a particular way. Then you need to fill out my form, which is really easy. I just want to know a little bit about you, your name, contact information, and then I want you to tell me a little bit about the equipment that you're using. Your mic, your audio interface, gives me an idea of what your room is like and how I can approach the audio to help you, really. And then the third step, you need to check your email, because I send you an email and it has an upload button you push, and it's going to give you basically a Dropbox folder that you could drag and drop your audio file in to submit it to me. And then once I get a chance to process the audio for you, and it's custom. I don't do the same thing for everyone. I examine your audio, I do this EQ, remove the boxiness like you're hearing in this video, and then you're going to get another email from me once I'm finished processing, and then you can click on the link on the button and you can hear what my custom processing sounds like with your voice recorded on your mic, recorded in your room, and you can just hear the difference. And you can hear the possibility, I think. And also, I'll tell you this, that, a lot of times people will have an issue with their room or their mic position, and I make suggestions. I want to help you improve. It's absolutely free to do that much. I do that for everyone, so don't be shy to submit your voice. And also, some people are hesitant because they're like, my voice isn't good enough. I don't want to send it to Lenny. Actually, the worse it is, the more I can help you. So bring it. I want to do this for you. And there's no obligation to buy anything. You can buy the processing if you want to, and I can show you how to get it on your machine, but to get a sample and a demo, completely free. All right, the total raw file, and then with the complete processing. Here we go. Here's the raw file first.
In my little booth, got a screen, got a Rode NT1 microphone, 5th generation, using a Focusrite Scarlett 4th generation preamp to log all that into. And biggest challenge I have with my audio, I don't think it feels particularly natural. I think there's too much bass reverb. I don't quite know what to call it. It just sounds a bit...
The boxiness is gone. It really has more of a presence to it. The voice, I always say this, and when I process audio and a voice recording like this, it just sounds like present. It has that clarity. And yes, it's processed. There's compression here, and there's a spectrum of how much compression we can use. I want people to hear your voice. I don't want people to hear the processing. When I say that my custom processing is custom, I want you to be happy with it. So there's a whole spectrum of how much compression we can use, and I can modify this to reduce the sibilance, increase the sibilance, or make it more crisp. I could reduce the low energy. We can shape and mold this, but it's a great starting point to get you what you want. I want you to be confident. I think that's one of the main things that I offer to my custom preset clients. So anyway, I hope you learned quite a bit about a boxiness sound, where it comes from. It's the room. It's likely not your microphone, especially this is the Rode NT1, which is a fantastic mic. The boxiness was happening because of that imbalance. If you've got questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I'm happy to do that. Or if you've got questions about submitting your audio, bring it. Send me your audio, and I'll do my little custom processing thing for you. I'm Lenny B, audio engineer. Thanks so much for watching. Let's make your voice sound better.